Hello and welcome to Pillow Talk. I'm David, your host. Thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk about the 7 places that you can touch your woman that will drive her crazy. The role that nonverbal communication plays in the art of seduction when you're trying to read your partner's mind. And basically that's what we're talking about when we're talking about nonverbal communication. Have you ever been out with your girlfriend or your wife and she give you a certain look and you know exactly what that means? Or she may grab your hand and look at you and rub it in a certain way. You know what that means? This is what we're talking about. Now, these 7 places that you can touch your person in public that will drive her crazy, it has to do with these different neurotransmitters that's in your brain that release these 3 different hormones that we're going to talk about. And the first hormone is oxytocin, which is used with women released during childbirth, and then a lot of times it is used to induce labor, and it used when a woman is lactating, breastfeeding after pregnancy. And it is a bonding hormone. It makes you feel very close and very passionate. That's why during that time you women breastfeeding, they're in a different type of a mood. That is because of that hormone oxytocin. That is what that's for. And the next one is dopamine. And dopamine is a very pleasurable hormone that releases pleasure. That's what it's used for. It's like when you are having sex, it's the dopamine that's released and it makes it so pleasurable. Or when you're eating something that's delicious. Or for people that use drugs, how it gives them that euphoria from using drugs. That's the dopamine. And the serotonin is used to stimulate your appetite and your mood. That's why you see a lot of people that's more hyper and more sexual, and that'll be the serotonin. So all of this goes together when you touching a person in these areas. This is released in the brain. So it is important that you, when you're touching a person, your woman, in these areas, you know what the result is. And that's why learning a woman is very, very simple. They are very passionate and they love touch. They love smell and sight. So the touching is what we're going to talk about. And the very first area is the lips. The lips have so many nerve endings. That's why people love to kiss. They love to bite their lips. If you notice when a woman is very passionate, how she may bite her lips, you'll see her licking her lips, or her tongue is out of her mouth, licking when she's very turned on or trying to allure you to her. That's the first place. So that's why you see men love to kiss a woman on the lips. That is one of the most bonding, passionate things you can do. So the very first place is the lips. That's why you see a lot of people kiss in public. That is the very, very first place. And the second place is the nape of the neck and the back part of the neck lower. When you talk to a person back there or gently touch them back there, it sends off signals, those neurotransmitters, to the brain. And you can notice that by the way you may notice the hair stand up on the back of a person's neck. And you can do this in public. It's very erotic and very, very pleasurable to women. It's satisfying, it's euphoric, and it's very joyful. So when you do that, it does something to a woman, and those signals go off in the brain and releases those 3 hormones that drive her crazy. And number 3 is the lower back. In the lower back, it signals bonding when you touch a woman back there. And that's why those hormones are going off. That it's full of nerve ending. It's a flirting gesture. It's letting her know that you are in that type of mood right now. That's why you see a lot of people put their hand back there, and if they only knew what they were doing there, they would move their fingers in certain ways that tingles that spine. That's why that hand goes to the lower back. That's where the spine tingling comes from. And number 4 is the arm. The arm has so many nerve endings, it's full of pleasure. It signals closeness, like I want to get together with you. I want to take you right now when you grab a woman by her arm. that shows that you're finna be masculine. It puts her in the mind of back during the days of caveman time where a man would just take his woman and she just gonna be the woman and have no choice. That makes her feel very submissive. So the arm grabbing and touching, that's what sends off, that's the signal that's sent off in a woman's brain. And that's why that is one of the places that you always touch. And the next place is the knee. Have you noticed whenever you went to the doctor and get a physical and they tap you on that knee, how your knee would jump and you can't control it? That's that reflex. That's that sensitive area of a reflex you can't control because those signals are going off in the brain. And when you lay your hand there and gently rub it, have you ever noticed, and it happens all the time, if you rub it and you're talking to a woman, how her legs will open? It's saying, I'm ready, I'm giving you an invitation. That's what the signal is going off in her brain. And you have to be able to read the signals. That's what it's all about, reading your partner's mind. And number 6 is the hands. Now, once you get to the hands, then you have so many nerve endings to explore. The fingertips, rubbing on a woman's fingertips drive her wild. It sends tingles all the way up through her ears, all the way down to the toes. It curls a woman's toes. I don't know if you guys ever did this, but if you ever suck on a woman's fingertips or lick them, oh, it's gonna drive her crazy because of the fact that it's sending off that bonding, the oxytocin, the dopamine, the serotonin. It's going crazy. You could look in her eyes and see her biting her lips if you were ever to do that. And then the next part is the wrist. The wrist goes with the hand. So while you are rubbing on the fingertips, playing with the fingers as you're holding them, the other thumb slides up toward the wrist. And you trace the veins in the wrist, play with them. That is driving her crazy. While you're holding the hands, you must always have one of your fingers steady tingling the hand in those spots, the fingertips, the palm, and the wrist. I guarantee you, if you touch your woman in these 7 spots, she would think you are the most passionate man and she can't wait to get you in bed. Remember, the sense of sight, touch, and smell always look good when you're out with your woman. Always smell good because that lasts longer than a sense of sight. If you have a good fragrance, your woman will adore you. And if you touch her in these 7 spots and show her how passionate you are, she would be crazy about you. So this is David from Pillow Talk. Thank you very much. And I look forward to talking to you on my next episode.